Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a really severe vulnerability, one that could affect thousands of systems all over the world. We're talking about a flaw so critical it could let an attacker completely take over a server with, honestly, surprising ease. Okay, let's just dive right in with the number that says it all, a near-perfect 9.9 out of 10 on the CVSS scale. You know, that's the standard we use to measure how bad these things are. A score this high, wow. That is reserved for only the most dangerous flaws, and it's a massive, flashing red flag for anyone running this software.
And what's really staggering is just the sheer scale of this. We're talking about a single flaw that potentially affects over 100,000 servers out there. This isn't some tiny niche issue, it is a widespread risk.
So what are we dealing with exactly? Well, it's a vulnerability officially called CVE-2025-68613, and it allows for something called remote code execution. The best way to think about it is, it's like an attacker can just whisper commands through your server's wall and get it to do whatever they want. Unlock doors, steal files, you name it. Basically, they own the place.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this all works, starting with the platform. Right at the center of all this, n8n.
So first up, what even is n8n? Well, it's a super popular, really powerful, open-source tool for automating tasks. It connects all your different apps and services together, and with something like 57,000 downloads every week just from its NPM package, you can see how deeply this thing is plugged into business operations pretty much everywhere.
So how does an attacker actually exploit this popular tool? You might be surprised. The path from being just a regular user to having full control of the server is, well, alarmingly straightforward.
The attack happens in just 4 simple steps. And get this, the attacker doesn't need to be some high-level admin. They just need basic user access, enough to create or edit a workflow. From there, they inject a malicious piece of code that breaks out of its little digital container, the sandbox, and just starts running wild, directly on the server.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The platform's own maintainers put a spotlight on the core problem right here. They said the system fails to keep user-supplied code properly contained. That little phrase, not sufficiently isolated, that's the technical heart of this whole mess. It's kind of like having a faulty cage at the zoo. The animal was never supposed to get out, but a little flaw in the design lets it roam free. Okay, so we know how it happens. But what's the real damage? Well, a successful attack here isn't just a single event. It can kick off a domino effect that ripples across an entire organization.
The damage isn't just limited to that one server. No way! An attacker can steal your sensitive data, they can destroy your critical automated workflows, and they can use that compromised machine as a launchpad to attack other computers on your internal network. And that supply chain risk? It's very real. Just imagine your n8n setup sends automated invoices to a client. An attacker could use that trusted connection to send fake bills, or worse, attack your client's systems. That's how one tiny flaw becomes a catastrophe for a whole lot of people.
And make no mistake, this is not just a localized problem. We're seeing thousands of exposed instances in major tech hubs, the United States, Germany, France, you name it. This is a global vulnerability affecting a key piece of modern business infrastructure.
Which brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, what you need to do right now. So let's talk about how you can protect your systems from this threat.
Okay, this is the key takeaway. Look at this table. Find your n8n version number. If you're running any version in that left-hand column, you are vulnerable. You need to upgrade immediately to one of the patched versions on the right, not tomorrow, now. Now I get it. Sometimes you can't patch right away. So what do? Well, there are some temporary things you can do, like restricting who can edit workflows and really locking down the server's network access. But let me be perfectly clear. These are just band-aids. They offer incomplete protection and are only a stopgap measure. The only real solution is to patch. And if you're still not convinced you need to act now, listen to this. This is not some theoretical threat anymore. A proof-of-concept exploit has already been made public. That means the tools and instructions to carry out this attack are out there for anyone to find. The urgency to patch your systems just went through the roof. The clock is ticking. So this whole situation really leaves us with one critical question to think about. The powerful tools we rely on to make our lives easier for automation and efficiency, well, they require our constant vigilance. Because without the right security, without proper maintenance, that amazing tool you use to build your business could become the very thing that tears it all down.